My name's Miles Pitcher. I am the owner of Superior Lending. We've been in business for 21 years now. I'm a loan officer located in Utah. We love helping our clients, our realtor partners, to find solutions and creativity and the best mortgage products for them in their situation. I wanted to talk to you today about an idea or a strategy when a home has been listed on the market and maybe the market is dictating a price reduction in that home. I want to throw an idea to you that maybe can help the buyer of the home and help you promote that home to get it sold. So let's look at this. But first, please remember to like and subscribe to this channel. I appreciate it. All right. Of course, you have to properly price a home when you're listing it. And that's the realtor's job, a professional. I can't emphasize how important it is to have a quality real estate agent on both the buying side and the selling side of the transaction. But there does come times when you need to do a price reduction. However, let me throw this idea at you. If there is a way to help the buyer and help them buy that home, it's a win-win for both parties. And what I mean by that is in a situation where we have a rising rate environment, many times buyers are struggling to qualify or reach the purchase price or purchase point that they want. They oftentimes have to settle for buying less, or they back out of buying homes at this time because they can't afford the payment. So let's check out this idea or strategy. So rather than dropping the price, what I would suggest is you keep the price where it's at, but offer some seller paid closing costs. Now, this is not a new strategy, except that you can also cover closing costs, escrows, and here's the one that people miss most of the time is a rate buy down for the client or buy out their private mortgage insurance. Those last two things, the rate buy down and the PMI buyout, can have a massive effect on what the buyer qualifies for and what their monthly payment looks like. So let's look at an example of this. I've put together some numbers on a $600,000 purchase price home, and we're going to assume that the buyer's doing a 5% down conventional loan. The first column shows just the original list price of $600,000, the rate, the payment, what down payment is. And then the middle column shows the purchase price being reduced by $5,000. So you can see that the rate stays the same for the client. Their principal and interest goes down because of now it's at $595, and then their down payment goes down by $250. It only saves them $25 a month, and over the life or over 5 years, that $25 a month plus the $250 saved in down payment, $1,750 of savings. Now, what if we were to take that extra $5,000 that the seller was willing to reduce in price, but give it to the client to use to buy down the interest? In our example, these are just numbers that are ballpark. So a $5,000 buy down could move your rate from 4.875 down to 4.5%. That's pretty amazing. Look what it does to the principal and interest. It drops it down to $2,888 a month. Down payment's still going to be the same as the original because our purchase price is still $600,000 and they need 5% down payment. But look at this monthly savings, $128 per month. That saves them over 5 years, $7,680. That's pretty awesome on what it's going to save and help the client. So check those out. What a cool strategy. So let me throw a few more ideas with this. Number one, it helps keep the comps up in the neighborhood, which is great. Everybody likes that. I was talking with another agent. He brought up the point that oftentimes a price reduction will pop that home to the top of people's attention because of the price reduction. So we came up with the idea of saying, why not drop the price $1,000, but then add some notes in there that say, hey, we are also offering $4,000 or $5,000 in seller paid closing costs to be used for either closing costs, escrows, buy down in interest rate, or the buyout of PMI on the loan. Here's the cool thing. In the example I just showed you, do you realize that this buyer would have had an increase in $30,000 of purchasing power by buying down that interest rate. Pretty awesome in being able to help them step up and buy more home or get the home they want. I want to switch over now and talk to you about rates. Again, we have a lot going on with interest rates right now. This inverse chart shows that rates are moving upward because this is an inverse chart. As it moves down, rates move up. And we've kind of been moving in per the chart, a downward direction, but we've had a nice movement over the last week where we've improved in rates. There's that kind of reddish orange line right there, which is a 25-day moving average. Real positive move breaking through that and up into this kind of new channel up here. So we feel like we have a little room for a little improvement in rates. When I say a little, it may be just an eighth in rates or so, but we're grateful to have some improvement after quite a long sustained movement to worse on rates. But here's what's happening. We know the Federal Reserve is planning on raising the Fed funds rate 50 basis points in June and July. Comments from board members have said they are going to pause and see what's happening after that point. We're just watching their comments to see what's happening with that. What they are watching is to see what effects have their Fed funds rate raises had on the economy. Is it slowing it down? And what it's doing on inflation. Is the inflation starting to cool off? Their goal is to get inflation under control. And I repeat it over and over every week. Inflation is what's causing or hurting our mortgage rates. So as the Fed raises their Fed funds rates, it's a little bit of a lagging effect, but that will eventually cool off inflation. As the inflation cools off and gets into a reasonable range, you will see mortgage rates coming back down. So that's where we're watching for, is for that inflation to start coming down. Our prediction from our experts that we follow is inflation is going to stay steady and even cap out to the fall of 2022. And that from that point, that is when it should start cooling off or coming down in there. Again, my name's Miles Pitcher. I'm always thrilled to help people with questions that they have on mortgages. If you need ideas, suggestions, we are here to help you. Here's my phone number. You can text at that number. You can email me. My website is superiorlending.net. You can reach me through any of those. Have a great week. We'll be back again next week with another tip for you.